Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I thought that I wasn't going to be able to post a video on this particular series for quite a while because this is the series where I update you with each step of my author journey along the way as it's happening in real time. And the step that we last left off is I went on submission, which just means that now, oh, my dog is about to come into the picture, which is just that now my manuscript, my agent has sent my manuscript out there and it is in the hands of the top 9 editors of, well, some of the top 9 editors of this particular genre. And that's very exciting. And the next step would be, holy crap, one of them went ahead and offered, and then any additional steps thereafter up to and including having a book deal. No, that has not happened, unfortunately. I'd love to make a video claiming that to be the case. What has happened, though, a little detour, is I have heard from one, well, I haven't, but my agent has heard from one of those, and that editor said no thanks, so that's frustrating. 1 out of 9 said no. But that's to be expected. Frankly, 9 out of 9 will possibly say no, and then we will take any feedback that we get and incorporate that into a revision, and then we'll send that revision out to the next 9. We can't go back to the first 9, they're dead to us at this point. Well, actually, we're dead to them at this point. But then we will send it to the next set of 9. And actually, one of my absolute favorites is in that next set of 9. One of my favorite imprints who publishes one of my favorite authors of this particular genre. So in any case, there's still hope. Only one has said, one of the 9 has said no. So this has nothing to do with that whatsoever. This is a surprising step that I was not expecting, which is that my agent, out of nowhere, said to me, hey, by the way, what are the next books that y'all, she sent this to all of her clients, what are the next books that you are currently working on or have already finished that isn't the one that I'm currently representing? So I have finished a lot. So I pitched them each. So in any case, what she wanted was go ahead and pitch those to me. And what she means by that is, in a pitch, you basically say it's X book meets Y book, or movie or TV show or whatever. So it could be like, it's, oh boy, Bridgerton meets Spider-Man. I don't know. What would Bridgerton meets Spider-Man be like? And then you describe how is it like Bridgerton meets Spider-Man. So you kind of describe like what the main character, its current situation is, and then what is the big twist, or what is the compelling thing about the story or whatever. So in any case, I did that for the next YA I wrote after this one. I did not mention the first one because that one, as far as I'm concerned, that book is locked in a drawer, never to see the light of day. So the one that she's representing now is technically the second one that I wrote. And then I wrote, so anyway, in any case, I mentioned, no, I'm completely wrong. The one that she's representing is actually young adult number 3. I pitched the second one that I wrote, and then I pitched the 4th one that I wrote, and the 5th one that I wrote, and then 2 middle grades that I wrote. Middle grade is like below young adult, like Harry Potter kind of stuff, well, young Harry Potter kind of stuff. In any case, I pitched all those to her, and she seems to be really interested in basically actually the second one that I wrote, but as far as she's concerned, the next one after the one she's representing. And coincidentally, I already had one of my agency siblings, she offered to beta read it, and I was like, please do. And she's already published, she's amazing, you should check her out. Her name is, oh crap, Lizzie Siebert. She wrote a great book called The Bro Code. You should check it out. So she offered to beta read it, and honestly, here's the secret, I didn't know. I knew that one of my agent's siblings already had a published book and that they had a pretty cool story, that they had written their book on Wattpad, which is like a place where amateur writers go to kind of just share their book with the world if they don't really plan on ever having it traditionally published or whatever, they just want to share it. And Wattpad now has a thing where they're like, hey, that one is cool, we want to publish that one. If you've heard of After, That is one of their famous properties that was published originally on Wattpad, and then they're like, this is really good, let's publish it traditionally in physical form, and then was made into a movie and stuff. Anyway, so Lizzie's book, Elizabeth's book, had that same trajectory. I didn't know that. I knew that the concept of one of my agency siblings is in that boat, and now she's acquired an agent, one of the agents at my agency, for her second book, but I didn't know she was that one. So I had no idea how lucky I was to have an already published writer beta reading my book, and then her notes were amazing. Frankly, just as good than my agent's types of notes for this kind of thing. So that really helped me fine-tune it a bunch. And so I was like, well, as it turns out, I just spent a whole heck of a lot of time working on this. So here is the new version. And so anyways, I'm back to the editorial letter stage, but with a brand new book. Well, brand new to my agent. But you might be wondering, well, why? Why are you doing this? Are you guys not focused on the book that's currently out with publishers? Well, in my head, the reason why we're doing this was twofold. Reason number one is if a publisher wants the book that's currently out there making the rounds, then that publisher will traditionally ask, what else have you got? Do we want to do a multi-book deal with you? And then you pitch your additional ideas, usually, but in my case, fully written manuscripts. And to have one that's already polished up and has gone through the editorial process with my agent makes it all the better. And then that publisher can take a look at that one and say, well, yes, we definitely want, if not a 2-book deal, a 5-book deal with you or whatever. And that is something that can be negotiated. So that's what I thought the reason was, but also I thought, well, what if things don't go well with this particular book right now? This other one, we have it ready and to go. Like if we get through all 9 of the round 1 editors who say no thanks, and then we do round 2 of the next 9 and they say no thanks, and I think round 3 only has 3 editors so far, but we'll probably flesh it out till 9. And that group of 9 also says no thanks. Then we've got this next book to send out there, right? Basically what I was doing when I was querying agents is I started with that first book that again is locked away. Nobody will see the light of it will never see the light of day. I sent that one out to everybody in the universe that would take a look at it. Then I sent the next one that I wrote out to everybody, and then this third one, and then this third one finally grabbed somebody's attention, but not until after I'd already sent the 4th and then the 5th. So anyways, that's probably what we're doing here. At least that's what I thought. I'm having my editorial call. I get her letter, and she wants some pretty dramatic changes to the beginning, which I was already expecting, honestly. The problem with this new book is the call to adventure, which is the thing that happens that really gets your character, it changes their life and propels them into their new life. That doesn't really happen until like page 30 or something like that. And actually, even before I sent it to Lizzie, it wasn't happening until like page 50, which is no good. And I guess I can give away that it's like a Freaky Friday sort of thing, a swapped bodies kind of thing. In fact, fine, I'll just tell you. It's 2 former best friends who are now enemies. And then they have a thing that happens that causes them to swap, and they're very different people. One is gay, one is straight, one's a jock, one's a theater kid, that kind of thing. And then they swap bodies, and then the whole point of that is to really help them figure out how to fix their friendship that they've screwed up for the past 6 years. The problem with that is that I had the swap not happening until like 50 pages, and then I fixed it so it was like 30 pages, but now she's like, it needs to happen by page 10, if you can. It'd be for the best if it happened by page 10. If that's not possible, that's fine, we'll see what we can do, but it's gonna sell a lot better if it happens by page 10. So I'm up for the challenge, and it is going to be a challenge. And she gave me like a couple ideas, one of which was basically cut out the entire first chapter and take some of that stuff and plant it in later, which is a possibility, but actually something that happens in the first chapter absolutely has to happen before the second chapter. So I'll figure it out tonight. But anyways, and then there's another big other issue with the book, but that's a story for another time. I was kind of in my brain thinking like, well, why are we even doing this? Like, shouldn't we be focused on this book? So I even asked her, like, oh, and just so I'm, like, we're on the same page, the reason why we're doing this is so that if the first book doesn't go, then we've got this one to start sending out. And she was like, yeah, but I mean, actually, let's just start sending this one out as soon as we're ready. We can send them both out. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. That's a thing that when I was querying on books 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 all at the same time, I kind of thought I was doing a wrong thing. Like, I felt like you should only, and in fact, some agents told me that. I had queried this book that got represented. I was querying the book that I had written after that to some agents, and then when I got offered on representation on this book that's now represented, I had to contact those other agents who were looking at a totally different book and say, hey, by the way, I know you're looking at book 4, but actually book 3, or book 2 rather, has an offer of representation. So do you want to offer on, do you have time to make sure you want to offer on book 4? Or if you want me to, I can send you book 2. And one of them, or actually like 2 of them, were like, this is highly irregular. Querying on 2 totally different books in the same genre at the same time. I guess go ahead and send it my way. That's literally what one of them said. I mean, I don't know if that was her tone, but that's the impression that I got. And then the funny thing is, she was like, oh, I didn't really like this, but I didn't realize this was allowed, and now I'm freaking excited. I feel like we've hacked the game. You know, we've entered a cheat code or something like that. Like, I can have 2 totally different books out there at the same time, trying to pull in some attention, so that'd be great. That's what I'm doing now, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm gonna start working on that basically as soon as I turn this video off. So see you guys then. Bye, guys.